Welcome to Heaping Spoonful, a twice-monthly conversation with restaurateurs, chefs, growers, and others who have helped generate the legends associated with eateries across the Mid-South. The team at Benny Keith is proud to sponsor this adventure with the goal of preserving the stories that have helped cultivate an amazing food scene across the Mid-South. So kick back and enjoy a Heaping Spoonful.
All right, everybody out there in podcast land, this is Heaping Spoonful, so it must be the first or third Tuesday of the month. I got to tell you, today is a special day for me. My name is Brian McFadden. If you don't already know, I am chef owner of Brewed and Barley down there in Dogtown, right in the heart of Argenta. The person who I have on the podcast today is Luis Vasquez of El Sur. What's up, man? You doing all right?
Doing great. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that we were able to connect and get you on, because I can tell you that ever since I moved here, I've been very lucky, actually, to be surrounded by just amazing people since I moved down here from Philadelphia. And you started with the food truck, which we're going to get into in a minute here. But your name just radiates, if I say that right, radiates positivity and, like, not just positivity, man, but, like, creativeness and just putting out good product, but not only putting out good product, but being like a good dude. Like, you have a really good reputation around town, and I'm really happy that we were able to figure a time out. You can come in and chat with me, man, for sure.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, and talking to you about, and everybody listening to the podcast about.
Hell yeah. And I want to dig in where I want to start from the beginning. Where are you originally from?
I'm from a small town called Sabana Grande. It's in Honduras, like 30 minutes south of the capital city.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. And now you're in Arkansas.
Now I'm in Arkansas. Been here 11 years now. Yeah.
11 years.
11, 12 years.
Well, how did you end up in Arkansas?
So I was in college. I was going to architect school in Honduras.
Oh, hell yeah.
And in, like, my winter break, I was going to this other school to learn English. And I had a friend there that she worked and lived in Little Rock. She worked for a nonprofit. Okay. And she was like, hey, stop going there. Just come be a volunteer to this nonprofit. You'll be kind of forced to learn English. And
right.
That would be great for you. You will also help at being a volunteer with this amazing nonprofit. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. And so,
was it fun?
It was a lot of fun. Like, yeah. I shouldn't talk about things that happened there. It was a lot of fun.
Well, now, what year was that? So you're saying here 11 years.
That was 2013.
Okay.
2012, 2013, fall those years.
Big culture shock there?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Googling Little Rock. Mm-hmm. And, I'm from Honduras, and I see, when you Google Little Rock, I don't know if you've ever done, you see this highlight of downtown, and oh, that sounds like a cool city.
Yeah.
The place where I was going to do the volunteer thing, it was called the Ranch. They call it the Ranch, Jefe Ranch.
Okay.
And so I remember coming to Little Rock, flying to Little Rock, and she taking me to Jefe Ranch. And I don't know if you have drive through Cantrell.
Yeah.
There is a neighborhood called the Ranch there.
Yes.
And I think it's a neighborhood or something called the Ranch. I was like, oh, this might be the place.
Yeah.
And we just keep driving, and we start getting into, Highway 10. And I'm like, oh, this is going to take a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember enjoying so much the drive because, I don't know if you've been to Perryville, Arkansas before. It's a very beautiful drive. Mm-hmm. And funny thing is, like, it's full of pine trees. And the pine tree is very similar to the Honduran national tree. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Feels like home.
Familiar, yeah.
It's familiar. Yeah. And so anyway, she took me there. I met, amazing people. I spoke no English. So there were, 20, 30 volunteers from all over the country and other countries.
Yeah.
I came to volunteer there. So it was a very amazing cultural shock thing because, it was very open-minded people, there were Amish people there too.
Oh, okay.
You
yeah.
know, like you couldn't say boobs in front of them because they will walk away. There was other people there. It was like a very amazing cultural experience for me.
That's pretty cool.
So I volunteered there for 3 months. My tourist visa allowed me to be here 6 months.
Okay.
But I didn't want it to like kind of ruin things or like have problems with immigration. Mm-hmm. And so stayed 3 months here and went back to Honduras, and I came back.
Okay.
And the second time, the nonprofit was able to make, because I was being a volunteer for them, they could extend my visa for 12 months.
Nice.
And, then I met the person who I am with now in those 12 months. And I met an amazing lawyer that helped me to stay in the country.
Hell yeah.
And then, stay in the country.
And here you are.
And here I am.
11 years later.
Volunteered there for 2 years the second time.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then after the volunteer time finished, I moved to Little Rock.
Now, as far as the nonprofit goes, like, what kind of work was that? Was it like, was it something like food involved?
It was full involved because I don't know if you know what Heifer International does. So they, they provide education and food to people around the world. It depends the country. They will, like I think in Honduras they work with coffee farmers, and other countries they work with, they do that kind of work around the world. They teach people how to learn how to do things to survive. How to. Okay. Yeah. And so, anyways, there it was educational work. Mm-hmm. It was also food work because you had to. The place had a farm. Okay. You had to grow food for the place. You had to work with livestock. You had to work with people that will come to the place too, because it was an educational center, so people will fly or travel all over the country. Okay. And you have to show people how heifer works in other countries, and they will stay overnight. And so there I really didn't do much work. I started working in maintenance. Okay. There. I knew how to do maintenance stuff, and so my English was terrible, so I wasn't going to communicate with people. Right. I was just fixing things, painting stuff, and all that stuff. The second time I came, they were like, "Yeah, you can come, but you're going to be an education facilitator." I was like, "Well, I don't speak very good English." They're like, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll talk to 5th grade, 3rd grade kids, and you'll be able to communicate good with them." Okay. And so that's what I started doing. Every day in a while, maybe helping the kitchen there a little bit, and helping livestock or gardening and all that stuff. Right. They keep you busy all the time. So
you're always doing something.
You're always doing something. So yeah.
Very cool.
And and that was the work there. I moved to Little Rock and I started working in construction. Okay. The government, when you do all your paperwork, they don't let you work legally. Right. For 6 months, that's how long it takes to get your work permit. So, you have to work, but you don't have 6 months. You don't have a work permit. You don't have a work permit, but you still gotta pay bills. You still gotta feed yourself. Yeah. And so I went to work in construction. Because of that nonprofit, I made friends like, oh, I know this guy that has a construction company and is looking for help. There you go. So I started working with him, and then I worked with him for 6 months. I had a really good time. Yeah. And being a volunteer at Heifer, we live like 8 people in a normal house. Right. A normal kitchen. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I discovered I like cooking for people. Okay. Because we will, we all will work, but we will get off at the same time. We'll be hungry at the same time, kind of. And a lot of people will try to kind of make food, and we decided to start making kind of family-style meals. Nice. And we decided to make like a taco night on Friday night, and I was teaching them how to make tortillas fresh, we press the tortillas. We have a whole assembling line. Somebody will make picos, somebody will make meats and all the stuff. And so that's when I realized, I like cooking for other people.
Yeah,
because
turned all your roommates into sous chefs.
Correct.
You're like, you do this.
You do this. You do that.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah. And so we started doing that. And I realized then that I enjoy cooking for other people. And I realized then that I was like, oh, people likes, different food. Like, it's just not, like, they're like what I'm trying to do.
Right.
And so when I got my work permit, I was like, I want to go to work at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I got a job as a dishwasher at the restaurant. And so I was like, okay, cool. I want to do this. I want to learn how to cook. I'll get the job as a dishwasher.
Where was that
at? The Red Cafe.
Okay, yeah.
So I started working at the Red Cafe, and I remember. I washed dishes there for I don't know, a couple months, maybe more than a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And I remember I saw somebody quitting on the sandwich line. I was like, oh, maybe this is my in.
This is my in. Yeah,
So I asked, I was like, hey, see this guy quit. Let me learn how to put lettuce and how to do the sandwich line there.
Yeah.
Whole station. And then they were like, oh no, it was the time they were opening for dinner. One of the breakfast cooks, it was gonna be like the sous chef for dinner. Mm. They're like, oh, we have this position for breakfast. I think it would be better. I was like, I've never flipped an egg before in my life, but sure, if you teach me,
if you show me, yeah,
I will actually do it. And I started cooking breakfast, and then started doing prep and starting helping with dinner, starting helping with lunch. Started learning how to work around in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And like they will ask me, hey, do you wanna slice this ham? I was like, sure. Teach me how to do it, and I'll do. I'll do it. Do you wanna do this catering? Do you wanna help with it? Do you wanna help with this? And it just was very interesting and fascinating to me to be able to, being able to make breakfast in the mornings, but then if they needed me at nighttime, I had to help making a pretty plate at dinner at nighttime. And so I was always being like, I will help.
You're pretty much like a roundsman where you're just like this is your position, but you're kind of doing everything and you're learning all of it at the same time.
To me, it was like learning, like it was that. And so I worked there for like 2 years or something like that. Then with them, we opened another restaurant. And it was a great experience. I learned how to open a restaurant.
Yeah. Not a lot of people can say that.
I've never done that before in my life, and they went to that adventure. I went with them, and I found contacts. I learned where to buy things. How do you what place you go to buy kitchen equipment?
Yeah.
How do you hire people and all this stuff?
And ordering
and all this stuff, and opened a restaurant, and then I decided that I wanted to do something for myself, and I bought a food truck, this kind of destroyed food truck. I don't know if you remember K-Bear. It was the Thai place in Hillcrest.
Yes.
And they had a food truck, and we bought it for $2,000 from them, and it needed a lot of work. I think I spent like 6 months working.
Just doing it.
Working on it, but also working from 5 a.m. to noon as a prep cook in a restaurant in the Heights. And then at noon until sunset, we'll be working in the food truck.
You did all the work yourself?
Yeah, with Aaron.
You're talking about like doing like all the equipment and then the truck.
Well, the truck was destroyed. Like we had to rip it all apart.
Oh, you had to demo the whole thing first.
Demo the whole thing. The truck, it was just a structure. It was a trailer, a handmade trailer.
Did it have any like equipment in it at all, or?
It's the van hood.
Van hood.
And a handmade van hood as well.
Oh man. You got to show me those pictures. You have pictures of it?
I do have pictures of it, I think.
Yeah. So a handmade vent hood on a handmade trailer.
Correct, a handmade trailer.
Rock and roll.
We fix it up, and we open up the food truck. What I think or learned from my previous experience opening a restaurant is that people knows what they're comfortable with eating. People knows what they do know. It makes sense?
Yeah.
Like I would have opened an 100% Honduran restaurant, but food truck, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't think we will be where we at right now.
Gotcha.
Makes sense? Like,
yeah.
Like, if I would have gave people, 100% Honduran food, I don't think Little Rock would have accepted that the way it is.
Right.
Like in the beginning, people used to call the taco truck.
Right.
We'll sell so many tacos.
Yeah.
And not a single baleada. Because people will be like, ooh, what is a plantain? Like, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
Fried banana, telling me you're going to feed me?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it took, time to
educate.
And there were some people that, like, I have made so many friends that, like, they are like, oh, yeah, I went to Honduras. I had this. I'm so happy, you have this.
Right.
These people that has had the travel experience and been able to eat this kind of foods, that they were the people that were super excited to be able to find this kind of food here.
Right.
And so I think that's why, we decided to be like, yeah, we're going to have this Latin American Honduran concept too, because people, that's what Latin American food is. And you can have your friend that wants a taco, they can also eat a baleada.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So.
Now, when you say, like, all right, so when you guys opened, so it wasn't like 100% Honduran food?
I mean, like, well, it was, we had 3 menu items. It was the baleadas, tacos, and arepas.
Okay.
So Honduran, the baleada, tacos, Mexican, and Venezuelan-inspired arepas.
Gotcha.
On the menu.
Okay. And so it was 3 things, which I think is a smart move, like 100%.
It was just,
yeah.
It's a tiny kitchen.
Yeah.
You can only have 10 pounds of one kind of meat.
Yeah.
Storage.
That's it.
So that was it. I think it was like a 12-quart container, Canberra, of each kind of meat, and that's it. We sell out because we don't have more space. There's no more refrigerator, no more cooler space.
Yeah.
So that's what we had, and so had those 3 items only.
Now, as far as that goes, did you have a steady place where you were parked, or where you were just going to different spots, like taking the truck to different spots? Like, hey, we're going to be here this weekend. We're going to be here this day, Or did you have like a permanent place where you were hanging out at, the truck itself?
In the beginning, we were like that. We were going kind of everywhere, apartment complex, offices, the Bernice Garden, the rail yard, like multiple places, because we were following where people was at.
Gotcha.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
People, one time we tried to be at a parking spot. I think we had 3 cells. People didn't know who we were.
Right.
And all this stuff. And so in the beginning, we started going to places where there was people. Because that way people will see it. They'll be like, oh, that's a food truck. Well, let's eat there. And I remember, we had our stuff opening at Los 40. The first time we served food out of the food truck at Los 40.
Okay.
And that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Then we used to go to, do you remember Meteor Cafe?
No.
That place was really great for us. Like, we did, dinners there, and we all have lines of people and all this stuff. And so it was really good. So that's what we tried to do,
Yeah.
Go to places where people was, and or like also we tried to go to bars. They have the booze and we had the food, and so that was a really combination for us. Like Rocktown, Distillery was great for us because people was drinking those old fashions on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
They really needed something to eat, and like Wednesday, it kind of became one of our best days.
Yeah.
To be there and all this stuff, and so we started to doing that, going to places, and then the pandemic happened. And then the pandemic happened, and like places were not having big events and all that stuff, and so we always went to the Bernice Garden Farmers Market.
Okay, yeah.
And we were like, okay, let's make the Bernice Garden our home. This is an open park. People can social distance. People is outside.
Yeah.
And we started just constantly being there and telling people we're here. We are Rocktown Distillery and the Royal Yard. Those were the 3 places we will be.
That was your rotation there.
That was a rotation there. Then at the end, the last year, After the pandemic and all this stuff, we were just at the Bernice Garden and worked on the distillery pretty much.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it made us, we travel a lot with it because
I
think that's a very good thing about a food truck. You know?
Yeah.
It's like you can go find where the people is at. And you make your hours to where the people is at.
Right.
It's a restaurant, you got to make people come to you.
You got to get them in the door.
You got to get them in the door. And in the beginning, people doesn't know about you.
Yeah.
It's really important to, I guess, go find the people to be able to know you.
And now, we talked about the food trucks. So I think what we should do is let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We're going to listen to Rusty here for a second. We're going to pay some bills here, listen to some commercials. And then when we get back, I want to talk about the transition from the food truck to the brick and mortar where you're at now.
Good.
All right, everybody. We're going to be right back with Heaping Spoonful.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of Heaping Spoonful. We at Benny Keith Foods enjoy talking about the food scene almost as much as we enjoy providing the top quality ingredients that help restaurateurs and chefs across the Mid-South create their magic. Now let's dive even deeper into the culinary world with your host, Chef Brian McFadden.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Heaping Spoonful. And across the table from me today, I have Luis Vasquez of El Sur. Luis, we just talked about the startup of the food truck, and it was funny because when we first got into Benny Keith Studios over here today, we chatted before we got on the mic, and we were bullshitting about like the differences between the food truck and the brick and mortar, and you were like, man, it's a big difference. And that's something I don't know anything about. Like, I've worked on a food truck, but as far as you're talking about water on the food truck, you're talking about dumping, you're dumping dirty water, you need clean water, you need this and that. So let's talk about that transition first. So obviously you guys made a name for yourself as the food truck. And now you're like, I want to open up a brick and mortar. How did that come about? You were just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to go to a place every day.
Well, we actually were very happy in a food truck.
Gotcha.
My husband and I, we were just working the food truck. The food truck was, giving us a good, we were paying our bills, paying the business bills, and paying it was great. The food truck was great. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I joke with some friends jokes with me because they're like, when are you going to open a restaurant? It's like, oh, no, man, that's not going to happen. And, because we learned where the food truck was kind of popular or where the food truck did the best, we learned that if we were going to open a brick and mortar, it was going to be in Soma.
Gotcha.
If we're going to open that, it's going to be in Soma. And we knew that it was, no space available in Soma at the moment, so we were like, no, it's not gonna.
Right.
There's not. I'm not gonna worry about it because if there's nothing here.
So you already had in your head if we were to open up a brick and mortar, it would be in Soma, so it'd be south on Main, but there's no places there, so.
So we're the food truck. We're
just
happy.
Gonna stay where we're at.
Stay where we at.
Yeah.
And one day we're doing a fundraiser at a bar at Rocktown in Soma, and there is a friend realtor that he goes, hey, there's this business going out of business. You want to go check it out? And so it's across the street from Rocktown, and he told me the name, and we're like, yeah, I've been there, but yeah, let's go see it.
Yeah.
And we go check it out, and funny thing is the landlord of the business, he's a great customer of ours, right? And I have been already looking for other locations with him because he has properties all over Little Rock.
Right.
He's showing me places where we should open a restaurant.
Is it Greg?
Greg is the realtor. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. And Greg showed us the place, and then the property owner, he's a great food truck customer too. And then whenever Greg is like, oh yeah, and this is the owner and all the stuff. And I was like, oh, well, we're already talking to him. Mm-hmm. We're interested in this location. And I think we opened a restaurant in 4 months.
Wow.
We opened a restaurant there in 4 months. And
that's That's fast.
It was fast. It was like it took me back on time.
Yeah.
Whenever we were opening the food truck.
You're like, all right,
we're like, okay, we're gonna have to do this with a restaurant now. Very low budget.
Yeah.
Because like there was no bank that was gonna give us money.
Right.
As in advance, or like we really didn't know what to do. We're like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we'll sign the lease and all the stuff, but we're not.
And we're just gonna figure it out.
Just gonna figure it out. And so
I've gotten really good at that.
right.
We're just gonna figure this out.
Man, like I think I thrive like that. Like,
man, my cousin and I, my cousin Jess over there at Brood. Like when I first moved here, we used the word pivot so much. It's like I think knock on wood, we're pretty good at pivoting, and I'm not a put my toe in the water first guy. I'm just gonna jump in.
You're gonna jump in.
I'm just gonna jump in, and we're gonna get it done.
So we signed the lease, and we start doing work again. Flew my dad is an amazing carpenter.
Hell yeah.
Flew my dad all the way from Honduras like that. I'm opening a restaurant. Come help me.
Come on, I'll fly you. Let's go.
I'll fly you. Come help me. And so we did a lot of work in the restaurant with him and there, and even friends that came over and paint walls and about pizza, and then we just did a lot of work. Since it was a restaurant there, we got a lot of equipment and chairs, and we kind of paint the walls, make it look. We did some construction on the kitchen and all the stuff, but made it look like our brand, like
right.
The inside of the restaurant. We made it look like the outside of the food truck.
Yeah.
Right, it's a still fast casual restaurant. People comes order to a counter. There is an awning. Then it's kind of the same awning that the food truck had and all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, it was a fun transition to do it. But they're two different kind of monsters. Like,
they're two different. And again, like something I know nothing about, like the food truck. So let's talk about those differences. The food truck, you're talking about emptying water, talking about storage space, all that kind of stuff. So like what would you say was the biggest transition for you, like something to get used to? Would you say I can't believe I'm going to use this word, but would you say it's easier, or if it's like nothing is easy in the restaurant business, but would you say it's easier, or it's like what's the difference?
It's just totally different. It makes sense. The food truck, it was just two people, Darren and I, and we were doing all the things that you need to do for a business.
Yeah.
Plus the labor of the business, cooking, this prep, cooking on the food truck, getting ready, cleaning, washing dishes.
You're doing it all yourself.
Doing it all yourself. And we had to go to a kitchen. We had the food truck parked somewhere. We had to take the food truck to the kitchen where we had all the food. We had to load the food truck, cook food, go cook food for people, clean the food truck, then
the whole thing.
You would put storage things in a, place where the health department let you storage things.
Right.
So it was, it's a lot of moving around, lifting things.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. And plus, doing all the paperwork and all the work of the food truck, of the business, of a restaurant, ordering things and things and doing stuff. They're a lot smaller in a food truck. That makes sense. Like, there's a lot less of those things to do. And then in the restaurant, how a restaurant is.
It's
and plus having a bar, having to talk to 20 reps for alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. So many reps.
Reps.
I really want this. Well, that's not me. You got to talk to them.
That's not me. You talk to them. You have to open an account with the other guy.
Yeah, you gotta do that too.
So the restaurant is difficult too, but I had to deal with a lot more people. We have 18 people on staff. That changed from two
to 18. Yeah,
and so like that's.
And I see. I know the reputation that you have with your staff too, as you want to make sure that they're okay. So now you have 18 children now.
I have 18 children.
Yeah, that you're taking care of, and you're making sure that they're okay.
Correct.
That's always fun, and it's good to know that you're taking care of them. But there's stress there.
No, there is always stress there because
from 2 to 18, that's big.
That is big, and and it's just children, just how you say, like now, like the growing up of, being just being a business owner, right? But that's right. I don't have any children. But then, I have 18, just how you say. I had 18 children now. It's
just like that.
Just like that. And it's not that, trying to balance things and being a good business owner and also a good boss for them.
Yeah.
It was probably my biggest challenge between them. It makes sense, between that and the business.
Yeah.
It's just still want to make them happy, but you still had a business to run.
Right.
And so I think that was the first year of that. It was, was the biggest thing.
I think that was the most challenging thing for me too, is because your employees, you want to bring them close, and you want them close to you. You spend a lot of time with them, but at the same time, you're still trying to run a business. So it's hey, guys, I love you, but this still needs to happen.
This still needs to happen. It needs to be done, and we can do this, and we can do that. And so, that was probably one of the biggest. That was probably one of the biggest challenging things.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have 8 people of our original crew we started with.
Wow.
And that's really great now.
Absolutely.
We have people that's very happy there, and we have people that there's one person that they started when they were 17. There now, they can wait to be 20. We joke with him because it's you're gonna be the boss man when you go turn 21.
You're gonna be the guy.
You're gonna be the guy. And
now you're talking to all the reps.
You're talking to all the reps and all this stuff. And so, so that's been very interesting. It's been very interesting to learn my role too. Yeah. Because I mean, being the owner and doing the food and trying to give then giving people the responsibilities they need to do without me being there, on their toes too much. But at the same time, them doing what they, what I will do.
Yeah, absolutely. We always we talk about that often too, defining roles. This is what you're responsible for, and it doesn't matter if I'm in the building or not. And this is what needs to happen. And your managers are extensions of you, and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to learn there. Yeah. And it's a lot, especially jumping from 2 to 18.
To 18, that was quite a lot. But it's great though. I mean, we're super thankful for the people we have. I mean, just went on vacation, and when I go on another vacation, they go on vacation too, and we do the same for them. In a sense, it's just been really amazing to see people grow there.
Yeah,
getting their first apartment because they can prove that they can have an apartment.
Yeah,
people buying their first brand new 2025 vehicle.
Yeah.
Of, working with you, and they're doing their jobs. So it's been so satisfying to see that people can, grow with you.
Yeah, and they're growing.
Run through the business. Yeah,
they're growing. They're growing in the business, but they're also growing their personal lives, and you're a part of that.
I'm part of this.
That's awesome. I get happy when I have a few people that work for me that I'm super super close with, and they're hey, next year, chef, next summer I'm gonna take a week off during the summer because I'm gonna go visit my family out west and stuff like that. I'm that's awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Or hey, chef, can I pick up some extra hours because I want to go do this? Yeah, we can do this. We'll figure this out. Yeah, we'll get it done. It's a good feeling, man.
Good feeling,
because it is a second family.
It is, yeah.
Now, I want to dig into the food a little bit. So we're talking Honduran food, okay? There's a lot of people out there listening to the podcast, and they might not necessarily know what Honduran food is. What is some stuff traditional stuff that you have, traditional Honduran stuff that's on the menu, stuff that holidays your family's making.
Yeah.
And what are they?
Well, holidays, we have these tamales in the menu that, we serve them year round. We have them on the menu. They're these tamales wrapped on banana leaves. and the dough is fluffier than like a Mexican tamale dough.
Okay.
So the same as corn dough, but like they're bigger, filled with more stuff like carrots, peas, meat.
There's more to it.
There's more to it and all this stuff. We have Honduran style fried chicken. It's called pollo chuco, but it's like a nacho fried chicken dish kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a bed of plantain chips, green plantain chips, fried chicken, encurtido, like pickled onions, aderezo. At the restaurant we call it Honduran ranch because we had to we had to make people understand what they're eating.
Yeah.
And so if we put on the menu aderezo, people's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know what that is."
Yeah.
If you call it Honduran ranch, we're in the South. People are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, give me that."
Arkansas white.
Give me that. It's it's just it's pretty much a ranch. It's a mayo milk dressing. So,
Right.
So it's just gotta play with those things to people.
Yeah, and like you were talking about before when you first started the food truck, you're educating people.
So
now you probably have regulars that they probably don't even call it. They probably call it.
Aderezo.
Yeah, and they're like, at first we called it ranch.
Like our signature dish is the baleada con todo. That's what we sell the most every day. And so, so traditionally Honduras is just full, like a quesadilla.
Okay.
Not without cutting it on, like a pizza thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So traditionally it's folded like that. But if I would have started that in the food truck like that, people would have been like, "Oh no, that looks, I'm not gonna eat that." So
yeah,
I remember traveling to LA, to New York, and seeing people restaurants selling burritos. They cut them in half.
Yeah.
They take a picture of the burrito with all the fillings in it.
Yeah.
And, they were so trendy and people liked them so much and people will eat them.
Right.
I was like, we need to fold it like a burrito. We cut it in half and people can see, the beans, the meat, the pickled onions, the plantains, the avocado.
Yeah.
Because you first eat with your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you see that picture, you see that burrito that your mind knows about it. And like, yeah, I want this. I'm gonna buy it. And so at the restaurant we say it like that. When Hondurans come, they have the option to be like, traditional. We fold into them. And
nice.
And it's very interesting. You serve it to Honduran like a burrito. They go, yeah, the flavor is amazing, but it's different. And whenever you fold it like a baleada, traditional baleada, they're like, oh man, you just took me back home. Like,
yeah.
It's like, so we do things like that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so we have that, the baleada, the signature dish. We have a plato típico, it's like traditional lunch food in Honduras, like, beans or like a Saturday lunch. Like,
okay, yeah.
But we serve it every day, too. Like, people will eat it every day. We have torrejas on our brunch menu, which is French toast, pretty much. It's,
okay.
It's bread soaked on egg wash and krill. But in Honduras, we make this syrup with sugar cane.
Okay.
So the blocks of sugar cane, you make a syrup, and then the French toast, the torreja bread, is simmer on that. So we serve those for brunch, and
you just said the word there. You just said brunch.
We serve that. So because we have to, have those things for people to, for Saturday and Sunday morning to be able to be there. What else? We have catrachas. On the brunch menu is a Honduran bean tostada. I remember my mom making them for me. Like, she will put eggs. And I was like, oh, we need to have this on the brunch menu because you put eggs. Yeah, it's gonna be on brunch.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
So I mean, you said the word, and that was another thing that we talked about, walking up here to the studio, we talk about brunch. So you do brunch on Saturdays and Sundays?
We do brunch on Saturdays and Sundays.
What time do you open?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
11 to 3, Saturday, Sunday? You do brunch?
Then after 3 p.m., just regular
menu. Yeah.
On Saturdays. Sundays we close at 3.
Sundays close at 3. How many seats you got over there?
99.
Oh, all right. So it's a lot bigger than you would think it is.
Yeah. I mean, and we could see a lot more people, but we don't have a fire extinguisher.
Oh.
What's the name of the?
Yeah, I I keep wanting to say Ancel system, but it's not Ancel. Yeah, the fire.
The fire suppression, it's an old building.
Yeah.
So we can still have the business there, but no more than 99 people, unless we have one of those.
Unless you add the sprinklers in. Yeah.
But, so it's a 4,200 square foot restaurant.
Yeah, it's big.
And we could have more than 99 people, but, because of that, we can. But we have two rooms.
Yeah, so you have private rooms over there.
Well, the rest, they both are kind of public. One of them, the one on the back, we close it for private if people want to do like a private event. Mm-hmm. So the front of the room is, is more like formal sitting, just the order, fast casual. Uh-huh. And then we give you a number, and then you go sit down. The front, it has chairs with tables, and it looks a little bit more formal.
Yeah.
The back of it is like a 2,000 square foot garage.
Okay, yeah.
Then we make it look like an outdoor space.
Okay.
And so we have picnic tables. But since it's covered, we have ping pong tables, a pool table, football, darts. And so it works like a game room sort of like a thing. So, people come, eat food. We have one day over of best margarita in Little Rock. They can have the best margarita in Little Rock. and they can have fun. Big groups come enjoy that area because, we can sit, at the two top or, like a month ago, somebody called in and they're like, hey, I have 30 people coming in like 10 minutes. Is that okay? Sure, bring them over.
Okay, here we go.
So, we are available to sit that many people.
Heck yeah.
And so
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And man, you're surrounded by good company down there. I'm a big fan of Soma, and I hope that, my good people in Argenta don't get mad at me for saying that. But I love Soma, man. I'm a good friend John Brandenberger down there, Community Bakery. I know you know John. Yep. You got Nate Miller down there at BC Dub. You're obviously you're Bart over there at Raduno. You're surrounded by amazing people. It's a good feeling, and that's one of the things that we have in Argenta too, like the surrounding businesses. We all get along, we all like each other, and I'm happy to see that you found the spot down there, with all those guys.
It's a great area to be in.
It really is.
So really, really enjoy it a lot, and the people, the customers, the customer base, and all that stuff. Sharing customers with people, with other business is what's really amazing about it too. I finished working the other day, and I walk across the street to Rocktown.
Yeah.
And I've already seen two groups that were out of Sur that were drinking at Rocktown. And one of them joked, I was like, hey, you done with work, right? Time for a drink? I was like, yes, time for a drink. And then another big group walks in. That was out of Sur, just walking to Rocktown, too. And I was like, it's just really interesting and cool. And
it's a good feeling.
To see that the more we are in the neighborhood, the merrier it is, because people, as much as I will want for people to come, every day to eat and drink at Osur, there's no way that's going to happen. Because I don't eat the same food 7 days a week.
Yeah, we have to be realistic.
We have to be realistic. And so it's really amazing in Soma the difference between things there are, because, people that live in the neighborhood get the options to have different foods and different drinks all the time, and they can still support each other and make the neighborhood what it is now. Yeah. I hope this is the same for Argenta too.
Yeah, for sure. And, just like Argenta, you can have a progressive day in Soma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I could go to Community Bakery and I can get a bagel or a Danish or something like that in the morning and have my coffee. Mm-hmm. And then for lunch or dinner, I could come over and see you over at El Sur. Mm-hmm. And then I could go to Rocktown for after dinner drinks. Mm-hmm. And it's like you can just make a day of it.
You can make a day, yeah. Like literally, like you start a community bakery, and you finish at the bagel shop.
That's right. The bagel shop's over there, too.
The bagel shop is the guys over there, too.
It's relatively new.
It's You start community bakery, finish at the bagel shop, and you can literally have, you can have ice cream, you can have coffee, you can have the bagels, you can have a slice of pizza. And then, you can even finish at Midtown.
I was going to say, you can even go really late night and hit
Midtown.
It's funny. My staff makes fun of me. Well, I'm getting old, man. I'm 45 years old. We were talking about this earlier, too. I got a bone spur on my foot. I'm riding one I'm riding on one floor in an elevator right now. My foot's all messed up. But like my staff would be like, "Hey chef, we're gonna go over to Midtown." I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm staying in my bubble." They make fun of me all the time. I'm like, "No, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay on this side of the bridge for now." But they always pick on me because I don't make it over to Midtown. I was at Midtown actually once with Conan. Conan, who owns Four Quarter, he's like a legend, at Midtown or whatever. But I haven't been over there much. I've been there more than once, but I mean, I was there with Conan when everybody was like, "Oh God, you were there with Conan." It's awesome. But you're right. I mean, there's such a good progression there, and there's a lot of parking. I mean, it's
so much parking.
There is a lot of parking. Yeah, I wish we had that parking.
Yeah. It's so much parking, even on the streets and everywhere. It's crazy. The other day we got a 3-star review. Somebody complaining there was no parking in front of the business. I was like, Jesus.
Come on, man.
Seriously. Sorry.
That's not my fault.
Seriously, 3-star because there's no parking in front of the business. Okay. Sorry.
There's a giant parking lot across the street.
It's a giant parking lot across the street. It's big. I mean, like all the streets, they go opposite way to Main Street. They're free parking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it takes longer to these people to walk from the parking lot of Walmart.
Yeah.
And, doing the shopping. Because it really is. There is for real. It takes people walks longer at the parking lot of Walmart than at the parking lot to go from,
into the building.
The building at the restaurant than on the street. So
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Give me a 3-star because of that, man.
Well, you learn. I mean, we still care very much about, it's my baby.
Yeah.
I care very much about it, but those silly reviews. I mean, in the beginning, I wouldn't sleep.
Yeah.
For those reviews, and
they hurt.
Now they hurt.
Yeah.
And they hurt, but I try to think other people. It makes sense.
Right.
If I go somewhere and I look at reviews, I'm gonna laugh at that review.
Yeah.
It's seriously,
come on. Yeah, exactly.
Come on, that. You really don't really matter.
Yeah.
So that's something that that's one of the things growing up too. Owning the business, be taking serious what it really needs to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another thing to think about.
Yeah,
and whether it's food truck or it's brick and mortar, like those reviews, and there's just so much there. It's another page in the book that you're like, all right, now I'm dealing with this, and we'll deal with that.
They're a blessing in a course, I feel like it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. So what's the future hold, man? Like, you thinking about second location, or you guys just you rocking out where you're at, or?
We're rocking out where we're at. It's been 2.5 years now. It took a solid 2 years.
Yeah.
to be okay, this is what
I can breathe.
We are. I mean, I say I was not going to open a restaurant, and we have a restaurant now.
Now we have. Yeah.
I mean, a second location, will possibly happen. I mean, I'm
open to it. Just
open
not.
to it because I'm not looking for it right now. Makes sense, but in the future, I mean, I don't like how I was started as a working construction, then a dishwasher, then a line cook.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. It makes sense. And so I don't think I'm not gonna sit down just at one restaurant and just do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
Something else is gonna happen. But as of right now, I'm 33 years old, and so just trying to make this a good foundation for the future.
Absolutely.
So
that's awesome.
Just gonna keep doing that with it, and then something will happen probably in a year.
Yeah.
Something like that, 2 years.
Yeah. We get bored.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's where we make specials. That's what we.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we do things and stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, rock and roll, man. Well, I'm going to continue to support, and I know that there's so many people out there that are going to continue to support. I really appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you for inviting me. This was a good time, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we were able to hook up over here and do it. And, man, I say this to everybody. People that listen to the podcast regularly are probably like, man, this guy always says this. But, we're going to check in a year from now and see where you're at and what's going on and what's changed. And I know it's going to be positive. So, we'll bring it back on and we'll sit and chat again,
Sounds good.
For sure.
they're happy to be back here.
Appreciate it, man. I'd like to thank everybody over here at Benny Keith Studios. Thank you, Rusty, for giving us this platform. It's great. I love every second of it. I love my Tuesdays, coming over here and doing a podcast and getting to talk to guys like you, man. I really appreciate it. It's awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank Rob Nelson. He's the head of tech over here at Benny Keith. Rob's the one that's going to make us sound good, so we got to be really nice to Rob. You know, we'll take care of Rob.
We'll sure do.
All right, guys. That's it for this episode of Heaping Spoonful. And if you're interested in coming on the show, hit us up. Hit us up over here at Benny Keith. If you got a good story, I would love to hear it. My name is Brian McFadden, and we will talk to you next time on Heaping Spoonful.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Heaping Spoonful. On behalf of all of us at Benny Keith Foods, Mid-South Division, please know how much we love connecting you with the legends of the culinary scene and their unique stories. I look forward to the next time we can offer you another Heaping Spoonful.